Anthony Joshua released a video on his own kind of YouTube channel, Twitter account, etc. today, and basically it says it's far from over yet. I know we've got loads more to bring to the game. He started the video by measuring the fact that he came up short and to take the positives from it. And I was kind of thinking, not a great many positives to take from that, but he elaborated in a sense of take positives from your career, and which he's had a brilliant career. There's no ifs or buts about that over the last 11 years. And without knowing to listen to it, it was kind of, you'd almost think like, oh, is he planning on announcing this is retirement? But he said no. He's still got a lot more he feels to bring to the game. He said that he's got a lot of heart, and whatever you want to say about Anthony Joshua, the man has tremendous heart. I mean, he was face planted against Daniel Dubois on Saturday night, but he still tried gamely to get back up. If he could have, he would have. He was never going to get up from that shot. But don't question the man's heart. He definitely has heart. He has heart in abundance. He is saying he's going to carry on. He wants to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, and he says that the third time has been the hardest. Well, yeah, it has. He's came up short both times against Usyk and now against Daniel Dubois. He's came up short both times, and Joshua's going to carry on. And Eddie Hearn has been talking about Joshua today. I might even do a separate video on that. But he's been talking about Anthony Joshua basically waiting to see what happens in the Fury-Usyk fight and essentially look to target Fury, win or lose. That's essentially what he's getting at. Now, the rematch is that Frank Warren is kind of refuting that, but apparently there is a rematch clause for for Joshua in the Dubois fight. And that may very well be the next road he goes down. Listen, I talked about this yesterday at great length, and my opinion is the same. Anthony Joshua is going on 35 years old. You could definitely say, most likely, his best days are in the past. His best days were 2016 to 2019, pre-Ruiz, where that might have been his peak in terms of his fighting prime, and I think that's a shame, because if he'd been with a different trainer, I think we really could have seen something special out of Anthony Joshua. But that was the peak in terms of his fame, his popularity, everything. He was the man in the heavyweight division at the time. He since then has obviously lost to Andy Ruiz, lost twice to Alexander Usyk, and on this recent comeback trail, there was a few moments at the start where you looked and thought, that's a bit worrying. He was able to beat Ottavalian and Francis Ngannou, but against Daniel Dubois, this was the most devastating loss of Anthony Joshua's career, in a loss in which he wasn't even competitive in this fight. Against Andy Ruiz, he dropped Ruiz. Against Alexander Usyk, he got outboxed, but he was, in the rematch, he wasn't really hurt. You could say he was maybe stunned a little bit in round number 10, but nothing major, and towards the end of the first fight, he was fatigued, and if there was a bit more time, we don't know, maybe would have got dropped. But he was never, completely out of it against Alexander Usyk at all, really. He was just outboxed. In this fight, from the first minute of the first round, it was obvious what was going to happen. And he took a lot of punishment, an awful lot of punishment. And to be knocked out clean like that, as I said, you often see when fighters have been knocked out like that, their punch resistance starts to regress a little bit. And especially in that fight, Joshua took loads of big shots before eventually the final end blow. And with that, I just don't think you can come back from that. And I don't think you can come back from that and be at your best or anywhere near it. I really think that Anthony Joshua, with this comeback, Joshua is obviously talking, and I give him credit. He wants to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. He wants that on his resume. His legacy is already sealed. There's no ifs or buts about it. His legacy is sealed. He's a Hall of Famer. There's no ifs or buts. He just should be. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And that resume that he has, the achievements he's done, they warrant that. Warrant a Hall of Fame induction. Of course they do. He has nothing left to prove. He's proven it to himself, and that's fine. His pride wants to become 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, but as the saying goes, pride cometh before a fall. And Joshua had a big fall on Saturday night, and if he carries on, and it's not just the fact that he could carry on and say, I've learned from this, that, and the other. He took a tremendous beating a tremendous beating in there against Dubois. I just don't think he's going to have anything left in the tank for this return, whoever that may be against. Now, if it's a Tyson Fury coming off a loss against Alexander Usyk, maybe the fans will be interested. They won't have the same intrigue that they would have had if it had been, both guys going in for undisputed or a world heavyweight title fight. It wouldn't have the same sway with the fans as that. But yeah, it would still do numbers. People would still tune in and watch it. That of which I've no doubt. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, both fans would be just like, yeah, let's go for it. So they could still do that. But I just think that Joshua, after that loss, maybe it is just better to sail off into the sunset. Or if you want to go out on your terms, if you want to go out with a win, Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte, those are two fights you could potentially have. Do them in the UK, do them in Saudi Arabia where you seem comfy, and winnable fights in which I'd probably pick Anthony Joshua over both of them, and go out on your terms. But to go chasing, you see, we've got this new generation coming as well. So with Fury Usyk, they could be gone in the next year. If Joshua is insisted on chasing a heavyweight title, you could run into someone like Dubois again. You could run into someone like Bacoli. You could run into someone like a Telma potentially. And I look at Joshua, I think after that, I'm like, how do you beat them? How do you beat them after that, where you just got completely steamrolled? And I look at Joshua and I think, you don't need it. You've got shares in the zone. You're a multi millionaire. Do you need this? Really? Let's wait and see. He said he's not done yet, and to strap yourself in. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But look, I will obviously tune in to see what he does. I'll be interested to see what his next move is. With Joshua, it's going to be interesting to see. This is what he's feeling now in the immediate aftermath of the fight. But it's going to be interesting to see what he says in a couple of months' time. Because you may remember when he lost to Alexander Usyk the first time, he was interviewed, I think it was in Saudi Arabia or Dubai, somewhere like that, by IFL. And he was talking about wanting to go straight back into the rematch, wanting to go straight back in there with Alexander Usyk. And then they brought up step-aside money. And he was like, no step-aside money. But if the price is right, and straight away you could see, like, yeah, you're thinking about it. You're thinking about you're thinking, go ahead. And that was at the time when they were trying to negotiate the Fury Usyk fight for 2022. Didn't happen. Fury wanted to tune up. Okay, you just fought Wilder, but there you go. And it meant that we got the AJ Usyk rematch. He's thinking this now, but what will he be thinking in the next month or so? We'll wait and see with that. I should really do a video on what Eddie Hearn was saying is next for Anthony Joshua. I might record that later, but for now, Anthony Joshua says he's going to be coming back. He wants to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. Whatever your thoughts are on Anthony Joshua, the man, see, people like Carl Froch will say, like, oh, he's got no desire, this, that, and the other. Listen, if he didn't have any desire, why would he be sticking around? The man clearly has a desire. All right, that's BS from Carl Froch. He clearly has some desire. He doesn't need to stick around for money. If it was just about money, he would have retired after the Usyk fights. So he clearly has desire left. But does he have it physically as well as mentally still? I don't think he does. And if you don't have it physically and mentally, I mean, boxing is too dangerous to be sticking around, Oh, you could say, like, F1, you're racing for a backmarker team. You've kind of checked out mentally, but it's a hobby. All right, that's fine. There's a bit of danger in motorsport, but, that's fine. It's a hobby, right? No one's hitting you, That's what I got to say on this one. Let me know your thoughts. Anthony Joshua was saying that he will be back. Good move, bad move, let me know. Peace.